Good morning, good afternoon, good evening wherever you are. The stream is about to start. Grab your favorite drink. Sit back and relax. You're chilling with HexAsians. With your host, Crypto Vince, Uncle Kevin Hex, and Middle Class Working Man.
HexAsians? Nice.
Konnichiwa! Konnichiwa! Emotional damage! Give me sushi!
Namaste and welcome back to another episode of HexAsians. This is me, your host Dheeraj, coming to you live from Manila. Yes, I'm still here, and I, as I have mentioned on the last stream, I have switched my location in Manila. So the new location I'm in apparently has better connectivity, so I am able to stream at a higher definition, but I still haven't done the setup correctly. The lighting is really poor. I have, but so I didn't actually want to show my face, but kind of like it's a part of documentation. Like, yeah, I also had a nice haircut a day ago, so yeah, looking smart. I hope people join in chat. But while we do so, uh, or those who are listening in on replay, let me know in chat what you guys are drinking, rather in the comment section. I just had a bottle of Coke, and by Coke I mean Coca-Cola. Um, I do, you after a long time I had a bottle, a glass Coca-Cola in a glass bottle, so I had to return it. So I can't show you the proof, but I hope you guys can trust me. Uh, see, See, the lighting is kind of hurting my eyes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off my camera and continue chatting. Hopefully people will join. Otherwise, this is going to be just me ranting to myself. I did have a couple of topics to cover, but let's see how things go. So turning off camera on 1, 2, 3, and yes, of course, when we are waiting, the one of the best things I like to do is to look at the hex chart. So let me bring that up while we are since there are no people watching, I don't have anybody to confirm or deny whether I am audible. The difficulties of streaming live. Just let me, I, pardon me, I hope there isn't an echo. Please. I'm not audible. Somebody help me. Oh my god, oh my god, what is going on? Hey, if somebody is watching, I hope some people have joined and are watching. Uh, can you confirm whether you can hear me? Okay, I checked it myself, so at least I know I'm audible. But hey, what a nice past week it has been. Uh, you see, and see, this is the only time of the week I look at the hex chart. So again, the Bullinger bands have gone parallel to baseline. The MACD is still negative. Uh, so not exactly positive for the chart, but we know this kind of the candles have now these are Heiken-Ashi candles, but even the normal candles they have kind of retested this lower Bollinger Band. So I hope it goes back up. I think at least retest the midline 1.5 cents. So let's see how things go. But as long as the hanging sword of the SEC lawsuit is in play, we never know what the price will do. Uh, what is going on? So that was one thing. People join because I I have this weird feeling like where is this? Did- that is one thing. Also, the Pulsechain chart. Pulsechain chart is also looking almost similar to the hex chart. The bottom Bollinger Band being tested. MACD is kind of looking still negative. And uh, it we have 1 day of reversal, uh, kind of moving towards, but still negative. So that's one thing. Let's see. At least the daily it has been up percent. Uh, next what next? Nobody was. This is something wrong. Like I have I have the stream running parallelly on this computer itself, yet it shows that there are no viewers on stream. So I don't know what to do with this. Yeah, shadow banning thing. I I can't do anything about it. So this is kind of I find kind of discouraged by this. Stop. Uh, yeah, couple of things before I move on to the next topic. As I discussed in the previous stream, today is the last day, I think, for the perpetual contracts. Maximus DAO, with you can mint, uh, sorry, mint hex by redeeming your perpetual contracts for base and trio, which are the 1 year and 3 year contracts, and also you can mint new ones. Uh, the that will apply the new T-share rates to those contracts. So that itself, like, I think there was a kind of a huge stake that, uh, even though it's not that big, but I think it's at least like a shark size stake. So it is likely to cause a spike in the T-share rate. Then the, so those who are interested, yeah, go and mint your uh, base or trio. Also, yeah, if you want, you be staking them as well. Weird thing. I am not as interested in it right now. That was one thing. But the topic of the day was, is Pulsechain sustainable? This topic came to my mind because I saw a tweet from Vitalik. He regarding the future roadmap of Ethereum, and as we know, because Pulsechain is a fork of Ethereum, whatever changes that occur in the Ethereum ecosystem are likely to be copied over on Pulsechain, provided they are good or rather beneficial. Plus, uh, it can act like Ethereum acts like a test net for Pulsechain, so we can see what changes Ethereum does and how it affects the Ethereum ecosystem, and then decide whether or not to apply those changes. And there is uh, so, he I have to bring this up. He posted this blog post. So fair warning, it's going to be a bit of a technical stuff. But I was interested in reading this. I hope other people are also interested. Uh, so I'm going to be reading through all of this and giving my expert comments, or at least whatever I can understand from. But so I I'm already yawning. I think I will manage to put people to sleep if you are listening on replay. But this was something important uh, that I found, like uh, possible futures of Ethereum protocol, part 3, the scourge. You know, that my God, I forgot what were the previous two stages of the merge and the splurge or verge, something. I don't remember. Yeah, so, but the third part is the scourge. Now, at first I thought the scourge meant to scrub, scrub the data, but I had to Google the meaning of the word scourge, and it means a whip used as an instrument of punishment, uh, uh, or a person or thing that causes great trouble or suffering. The scourge of mass and example, the scourge of mass unemployment.
Scourge.
So, or as a verb, it means a whip or whip someone as a punishment or cause it's like. So, in short, Vitalik has already made it clear the next phase of Ethereum is going to cause a lot of suffering, and so we expect. So we have to keep an eye out for that. Oh, I see Ahmed Nabil has joined. Hello, a very good evening to you too. Uh, I hope everything is okay at your end. I am still getting used to this new place. I would have liked to share some personal experiences, but see, I plan to do it on the next live stream. With I think it is going to be on uh, the same day as the. It's, so next Monday is 28th. So a couple of days before Halloween, so that would be more appropriate for Halloween content. And is asking, how was your day? Yes, so I moved my house, and it's a huge kind of downgrade from a multi-story condominium to kind of an apartment complex, but it's like more like a hostel than a house. It has its upsides and downsides, but yeah, I'm kind of getting used to it. I will give a proper. It's just been less than a week, so I will give you a better. So, and we have HO a Hexonair joining us. He's saying, "So Dheeraj, I listen in background, busy with work." Oh, yes, very good. Sorry. Uh, Make sure it is safe and watch your belongings. Yes, yeah, it is very safe. Just not, I would say, not as safe as my previous apartment, but huh, yeah, I think there are there is CCTV here, so Plus, the neighbors look or rather feel very friendly. Uh, I'll talk about those things. Uh, but yeah, yeah, I feel uh, like I am back in kind of Mumbai. Uh, the like, the previous place was very convenient. Everything in like 5 minute walking distance. Now the walking distance has increased, which is kind of good. Gives me more exercise, but it will take a bit of getting used to. Oh my god. Anyways, I was uh, looking at the Vitalik Buterin's plan to bring on the scourge and make everyone suffer on Ethereum. His blog post. Special thanks to Justin Drake, Kasparov, Suarez Schilling. My God, somebody's name is actually Schilling. um, Phil Dion, Dan Robinson, Charles Noyes, blah blah. Max feedback and review and the sticker community for discussions. One of the biggest risk of Ethereum L1 is proof of stake centralization due to economic pressure. If there are economies of scale in participating in the core proof of stake mechanism, this would naturally lead to large stakers dominating it and the small stakers dropping out to join the large pools. This leads to a higher risk of 51% attacks, transaction censorship, and crisis and other crises, etc. etc. When you run out of like what other crisis can occur? Other like 51% attack is the worst thing that can happen, and which itself can only lead to like blocking transaction censorship, uh, or but this is what happens when you run out of things to say. But in addition to the centralization risk, there is also risks of value extraction. A small group capturing value that would have otherwise go to Ethereum users. Value extraction, I think, is talking about MEV. I have talked about MEV a lot of times. So, let's move forward. Over the past year, our understanding of these risks has greatly increased, has increased greatly. See, this is what happens when you read, to try to read fast. But it's well understood that there are two key places where this risk exists: block construction and staking capital provision. Large actors can afford to run more sophisticated algorithm, uh, in quotation marks, MAV extraction to generate blocks, giving them higher revenue per block. Very large actors can also more effectively deal with the inconvenience of having their capital locked up by releasing it to others as liquid staking token LST. In addition to the direct questions of small versus large speakers, there is also the question of whether or not there is or will be too much ETH staked. Uh, I think I've covered this also like a few days ago, not few days ago, a few months ago. This was a topic that came up. I think I was reading one of the Vitalik's blog post itself. I have to go back and like, yeah, but yeah, these are again hypotheticals and what we already know, like yeah, bigger actors or whales, yeah, they can afford to lock up a larger liquidity, and because of which they know they are going to be able to like they are going to get the chance to validate the block, and therefore yeah, MEV value extraction is easier for them. Then comes, so this is the, see if I can zoom in. Otherwise, can you guys see this as a, I can see it magnified, but you guys can't. It's so annoying. This works. The scourge. So goal is to mitigate centralization concerns in Ethereum POS design, particularly at the MEV liquid staking or pooling. So the MEV track, uh, uh, extra protocol MEV market, which means explore EPBS. I don't know what EPBS is. I think there will be a mention ahead, so let's keep on. Explore MEV burn in EPBS. Explore exhibition tickets, distributed block building, inclusion lists, so endgame block production pipeline, app layer MEV minimization, and explore pre-confirmations. Now, these amongst this, I have my concerns will be this inclusion lists means there will be a white list for people who can be building blocks. Again, that is kind of censorship. I'm not sure if it is a good thing, or whether it is what I am thinking it is, but we'll find out in a few days to a month. Uh, by the end of the year, I suppose. Pre-confirmation again, that is like I haven't really explored it, but it's kind of when certain actors that won't be needing a reconfirmation of their transaction. But again, I'm not sure it is what I'm thinking. But let's move on. For staking economics or experience track, raise the max effective balance. Yeah, currently it is, I think, 32 ETH. Yeah, um, but yeah, the thing is, you need to be what you call fees that are the Ethereum rewards that you get, they get capped off after some time. So they are raising that. Improve node operator usability. Again, technical stuff means making the node better to sync, etc. Will this explore total stake capping. Yeah, I think we discussed this earlier. Like this is something we're considering that how much it should there be a lead kind of cap on how much each total can be staked because uh, but I don't think that they will be implementing it because the more ETH that is staked, the more rarer ETH becomes, the more uh, that is better for the price theoretically at least. So I don't think they will be implementing it. Explore a solution to liquid staking centralization. So we already know this, like there are two main protocols for liquid staking. One is Rocket and which is I forgot the other one. Uh, yeah, they have total. It, even though it is not hello CXCN Hex. Uh, he's you are in Hyderabad. I am in currently in Manila. Nice to see you. I don't, I haven't seen. I don't know whether you changed your username, so I'm not really sure we have met earlier, but it's good to know. Uh, so I'm just reading through. His section is saying, I don't know you so much, but I followed the HexAsian channel. Oh, well, thanks for following. You know, uh, let I hope you like what you are seeing. I guess, but hey, since you are a Hexican, you're always welcome. Um, for now, I'm just reading through Telix blog post so we can see what we can expect with ETH in the future and therefore Pulsechain, uh, what things we can expect. So we saw the Scourge roadmap this year. So what we are like guessing. This year, there have been significant advances on block construction, most notably convergence on committee inclusion lists committee inclusion lists plus some targeted solution for ordering as the ideal solution, as well as significant research on proof of stake economics, including ideas such as two-tiered staking models and reducing issuance to cap the percentage of each stake. The Scourge key goals minimize centralization risks in block construction, capital. Sorry, if I yes, CNCX. Yeah, because I am Hexican Pulsechain. You like yes, good. Keep up the good. Thank you. I will continue doing these streams. I, if you, I yeah, and since I think the other Telegram groups for uh, Hex as well as Persian have been taken down. The Hex India group was taken down by Richard himself. So we do have another Telegram group called Hex Furies, where we chat. If you want, you can join there. Uh, yeah, up to it. But what was I saying? Uh, just a sec. Fixing the block construction fine. What problem are we solving? Today, Ethereum block construction is largely done through extra protocol proposer builder separation with MEV boost. When a validator gets an opportunity to propose a block, they auction off the job of choosing block contents to specialized actors called builders. The task of choosing block content that maximize revenue is very economies of scale intensive. Specialized algorithms are needed to determine which transactions to include in order to extract as much value as possible on chain. Financial gadgets and users' transactions interactions with them. This is called MEV extraction. Validators are left with relatively economies of scale light dumb pipe tasks of listening for bids and accepting the highest bids, as well as other responsibilities like attesting. So here is a stylized diagram of what MEV Boost is doing. Specialized builders take on the task of in the red and stakers take on the task in blue. There are various versions of this, including proposer builder separation (PBS). So that's what they meant. Uh, Proposer builder separation and attester proposer separation. The difference between these has to do with fine-grained details around which responsibilities go to which of the two actors roughly. In PBS, validators will still propose blocks but receive the payload from builders. In APS, the entire slot becomes builder's responsibility. Recently, APS is preferred over PBS uh, because it further reduces incentives for a proposal to co-locate with builders. Note that APS would only apply to execution blocks which contain transaction. Consensus blocks which contain proof of stake related data such as attestations would still be randomly assigned to validators. This separation of power helps keep validators decentralized, but it has an important cost. Actors that are doing the specialized tasks can easily become very centralized. Here's Ethereum block building today. So this is since the merge, you can see there are various builders. Since vanilla builders, pure build.org, titanium are sync builder, flashbot imposter, flashbot SJ, and what you can see how I think Beaver build has the highest percentage now, along with Titan builders. Just, I know this is very boring, but just a second, guys. I will be. I'm just going to be back in a few seconds. Till then, we'll be so this is what the current state of Ethereum is. Uh, Now explaining everything is going to be a bit difficult. Uh, so maybe we should just move ahead because it's not really helpful. But yeah, so we see uh, uh, two actors choosing contents of roughly 88% of Ethereum blocks. What if these two actors decide to censor a transaction? The answer is not quite as bad as it might seem. They are able to reorg blocks and so don't need a 51% for censoring to prevent a transaction from getting included at all. You need 100%. With 88% censoring, a user would need to wait an average of 9 slots to get included. Technically, an average of 114 seconds instead of 6 seconds. for some use cases, waiting for 2 or 5 minutes for certain transactions is fine, but for other cases, example DeFi liquidations, e- e- even the ability to delay inclusion of someone's transaction by a few blocks is significant market manipulation risk. Uh, uh, so, uh, kind of self-explanatory with only two actors creating the blocks. There is always going to be that risk that they can censor the block. But I think like if you unless they target your specific address, or if you just pay a little bit extra gas fees, I think I don't think anybody would be or censoring your transaction. Plus, since there are two actors, hopefully they are competing against each other. So if one person tries to censor the transaction, the other one might. So there is, unless there is a coordination or collusion between the two actors, I don't really see the risk here. But yeah, it's again part of the imaginary horrible. You have to um, like nip it in the bud or avoid that situation. The strategies to block that block builders can apply to maximize revenue can also have negative consequences for users. Uh, Example, a sandwich attack can cause users making token swap to suffer significant loss from slippage. The transaction introduced to make these attacks clog the chain, increasing gas fees for other users. Now, this has been going on since, I don't know, Ethereum 1 1.0, and yeah, it still does exist. And if you aren't using uh, s- like either cow swap or I forgot the name of the other exchange that and hide your swap transactions to limit sandwich getting sandwich attacked. Yeah, but nothing like I think Pulsechain still has this problem of sandwich attack, but I haven't really tracked it down, and there aren't any tools that keep track of sandwich attacks or maybe attraction extraction on Pulsechain. Hopefully, some builder will build it, not a priority. But yeah, again, this is but obvious. Maybe it's always going to be there as long as there. So, what is it and how does it work? The leading solution to break down block production task further. Uh, we give the task of choosing transaction back to the proposer, that is the staker, and the builder can only choose the ordering and insert some transactions of their own. This is what inclusion lists seek to do. So this is the proposed workflow. Proposer, inclusion list, and block builder will choose. So the proposer or the staker will choose the transactions to include. The builder will decide the orders of their transactions plus can include other transactions, then publish it to the network. I am sorry for the background noise. I can't control the dogs outside. Just give me a second. So at time t, a randomly selected staker includes the inclusion list. Uh, randomly selected staker creates an inclusion list, a list of transactions that are valid given the current state of blockchain at the time. At time t plus one, a block builder, perhaps chosen through an in protocol auction mechanism ahead of time, creates a block. This block is required to include every transaction in the inclusion list, but they can choose the order and they can add their own transactions. So my uh, previous understanding of inclusion lists was wrong, but this is, I would say, equally bad. So not maybe not as bad, but yeah, there I don't still don't know why there has to be a separation between the staker and the block builder. Uh, I guess computation wise, they need a different hardware, but um, so it doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, so basically the staker is, oh my god, yeah, I don't know what's going on. Just a sec. So lot of noise. Sorry. Uh, I can't do anything about it. Um, so here at time. So I am not really sure how things work on Pulsechain currently, but yeah. So now that what the Ethereum is planning to do is have uh, the stakers will choose transactions, and then there will be another builder that will uh, either put in MEV transactions or rearrange transactions so that you can maximize value that can be extracted. Fork choice enforced inclusion risks proposals involve a community of multiple inclusion list creators per block. To delay a transaction by a block k of k inclusion list creators, example k is equal to 16, would have to censor the transaction. The combination of fossil, the final proposer chosen by auction that is required to include in the inclusion list but can reorder and add new transactions is often called fossil plus APS. Oh my god, I have to read this again. Fork choice enforced inclusion lists proposals involve a committee of multiple inclusion list creators per block. So, so in so every block there will be a list of stakers who will be creating a list of transactions to be included, or rather, so that will be called fossil. To delay a transaction by a block k of k inclusion list creators. Uh, so k example k is equal to would so why do the fucking Vitalik? Why does he have to write this in weirder terms? Like, so this is like for each block, there will be a, list of creators, uh, and for a committee of creators, and some if any transaction needs to be delayed by one block, then all the creators have to agree with it. Uh, the combination of fossil and final block proposer chosen by auction that is required to include the inclusion list but can reorder and add new transactions are is often called fossil plus APS. So yeah, a different approach to the problem is multiple concurrent proposers. MCP schemes such as braid braid seeks to avoid splitting up the block proposer role into low economies of scale part and high economies of scale part, and instead tries to distribute block production process among actors that is in such a way that each proposer only needs to have a medium amount of sophistication to maximize their revenue. MCP works by having k parallel proposals generate list of transactions and then using deterministic algorithm, example, order by highest to lowest fee to choose the order. Some are you guys understanding? Are you guys awake? Oh my god, I realized we have already reached the 1 hour mark. I know if I continue, I will fall asleep. So maybe I will do a part two of this. Maybe tomorrow, or day after at a different time slot, just to because to keep an what should I call it? Documentation of what is to be seen. I hope some to have more people watching in and having more conversations in the chat next time. Let's see if you guys have any quick words. I any closing remarks. Please do so or hold your silence. I don't see any responses. So I'm going to end this live stream and I will see you guys soon. Uh, Probably sometime that is more convenient to the European audience. So yeah, see you guys soon and we'll continue where I have left off from this boring blog post. Okay, time for outro.